to get into first, like, this is a very, when I was at film school, they were like, keep it simple, 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 simple. And you were like, yeah, that's the root of it. It was a very simple idea, but it loaded with so many emotions. Tell me a bit about where the idea sparked from and how you reached this level of like, let's keep this very intimate and simple and the structure right to get to the certain truths you want to express.
Well, I think that, of course, the first thought is that what are we capable of doing? So I like in terms of budget and all that. I mean, aside from all that, but that's one thought. Okay, I'm not going to do an action film. I'm not going to do. So I'm often sitting around thinking, okay, what should I do? What can I write that I can make in Stockholm with few characters and with a few good actors, and then so it started with that, and then I thought that I liked films in one location during 24 hours, and I saw Cleo from 5 to 7 by Agnes Varda, yeah, and that always kind of stuck with me. I liked that idea of like something looming, like you're gonna get the answer at the end of the film. And then I like the Lost in Translation, Bill Murray, Scarlett Johansson relationship. So of course you see that in there. And then, but I always liked slower paced minimal films. I was thinking on the way here, I really liked Stranger Than Paradise by Jim Jarmusch.
Jarmusch, yeah.
I used to count like every shot and say, oh, how many shots is that? Oh, 150. I can do a movie in 150 shots. That film, he just does, every scene is one shot. So I got inspired by those kind of people, like indie filmmakers, and just also Werner Herzog, like just go out there and make a movie. And this was shot in 12 days, so I mean, it was quick. So I wrote the script over winter. I called my friend, let's do some casting. She brought really good actors, and then I was like, let's do it,
I was going to ask how you found the cast, because when I saw it, I was just taken by the kind of chemistry. It was very easy. It was very watchable and just very surprising. And when I called you the phone, I was like, at some point, someone's going to murder someone when I saw it. Someone's going to die. But you didn't. It was a friendship. And after going through what the main character goes through, it's like he's just looking to connect. I think we're all just looking to connect in some way. And I wanted to know how you worked with the actors on this and how you transmitted the notions you wanted to say, because so much is said on the screen without saying it. That comes from casting.
Casting is one of my favorite parts of filmmaking. It's so many.
If you cast it right, half your work is done, basically.
So a lot of people came to our apartment that we had and did some auditions, and a lot of people sent in stuff. I'm not sure how Maria found you guys, but I said, "Oh, you two we need to do like go walk around Stockholm and just film." I filmed you guys just at cafes, walking around with my iPhone, and we did like a little, I don't know, tester screener, and then everyone was like, "Oh, is this the film? It's the trailer for the film." They really liked it. But do you remember? Yeah, what happened?
Yeah. Well, I found she put like an ad on an acting page, searching for this character, and then I thought, oh, I think I would fit this kind of role, and then I sent an email, I think, and then I got a call back, and we met.
Yeah, we met at Soho House, I think, and also we met there too as well in Stockholm.
Yeah, we met in Soho House, and. This, if you believe in something higher, this was something that really struck me, because this role came to me. Because I have been myself, like it was in the first scene, in front of a doctor and got a cancer verdict. So I could really relate into the movie very, very easy. So, and then also thanks to Denise, I mean, without her, I couldn't have done this, because as Michael said, we shot it in 12 days, a lot of script. You stayed with me and my daughter, we rehearsed nights, before shooting, and it was extremely intense. But now when I see it, it's for me it was very emotional to see this today, because this is the first time I see it on a big screen, and we did it.
What was it like for you all seeing it for the first time on the big screen?
I had goosebumps. It was because the work that is put behind it, and also I think we did a good job with this.
Considering the lack of preparation too. I mean, it was like you said, nights before. We auditioned and said, "Can you film next week?" So
Yeah.
I mean, did you have enough time to prepare? Did we? We didn't. I mean, we didn't prepare together, but you guys had some time. I think,
I had like one where I was like, "Hey guys, should I come to Stockholm like a weekend, a few weeks before, so we can like go through the script?" And then, I came that one weekend, and we kind of went through the script. But I would have loved to have more preparation, because it's like, a lot of dialogue and
doesn't
a
show.
lot of.
It showed like it seemed like you prepared a lot.
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
And I'm glad you brought up the kind of diagnosis you had, because I wanted to know, when you have that kind of news that comes out of the blue and it hits you, like what something must click inside of you, something must change, and you must have a very low, forgive my language, but a bullshit meter. Things that aren't important just evaporate, and you want to know what's important. How much of that how did you bring that experience into this? Because it's like you just go, okay, nothing matters but this one thing. I have to keep myself intact to get through this.
Yeah, I mean, one thing is that the doctor in the movie is a good friend of mine, and he was also a part of my journey, 2017, when I got the cancer verdict. So he knew everything. And we had a long telephone call before, and we rehearsed a little bit, and then we decided not to rehearse just too much, just to, go with it. And so, no, but it has changed my perspective in lots of stuff. When it comes to live for today, and a lot of, from one day to another, life can change totally, and I have accepted it. So I'm much more here and now in my life.
Yeah, that's what I assume. People will be like, yeah, I'm not taking I'm doing things for myself that makes me happy. And then when you encounter Denise, it's like, I'm just going to go with this moment, with this person's energy or their charisma. I'm just going to go with it. Yeah. And that was very innocent in some way,
I kept asking him, "Would you do this? Would you do this in real life?" Like,
exactly.
And you were like,
you
totally. This is how I felt.
Yeah.
So it was good.
No, you're right about
he
that.
already felt that and went through that. So
Because yesterday at the bar, so Michael landed yesterday from the United States, landed a little jet lagged, but came out to the bar either way, and we talked a lot about movies. And I was saying that when I finished film school, I moved to Europe for a little while, and I discovered the work of Abbas Kiarostami, and this very famous Iranian director. And he made a film called Taste of Cherry, where a guy he's depressed, and he drives around Iran trying to find someone to kill him. And it's very simple, where a bit like this film, the background is the character, the city is the character, that life becomes part of the plot. And things are basically untouched in his films. And I felt like also you drew from that kind of mode of making films to feed this. How much of this is really controlled, contrived? How much rehearsal is there? How much do you want to use the elements as your storytelling tool?
Well, everything.
How much do you draw from the Kiarostami?
Everything was
School of
controlled,
filmmaking.
I would say. We didn't do much improv, if any, really. More of just, okay, you guys did a good take. Now let's try just an improv version, and then we'd do something like that. But mostly controlled. I mean, everything I write in the script, from the type of music to inspirations, everything. It's like the script becomes a manifesto, my own personal script, and then when I send it to them, I take all that stuff out. But maybe I left a 10-song list of music or something like that. But everything was exactly as I imagined it to be, which was I mean, you know, not everyone gets that, but it turned out exactly how I wanted.
It's a real accomplishment. It doesn't feel like it's tightly controlled. It feels very open and very free.
Yeah, I mean, there was some improvising in that we couldn't do one scene in a gazebo that we wanted to do. Instead, they shot the end scene in his house or something. So we improvised like that, but it was still the same idea, still the same feeling I got, and I forgot about that. So I'm like, oh, then it's fine. We were able to move on and just change setting.
I'll ask one last question to Denise, then I'll throw it at the audience. Throughout the process, you said, you know, Michael would ask Max, you know, would you do this? Would you do this? Is this true to you? How much of this would be true to your character? How much of it do you feel like, yeah, I'd do this? This guy seems cool.
Yeah, I did this.
You did last night. You offered these guys a tour.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm in Oslo. I'm like a hobby tourist guy, and I pick up like random tourists off the street in the airports and like just like bring them along. Like, I'll show you the city. yeah. I'm kind of.
That never happens to me for some reason. I can't put my finger on it. I can't work out why.
I think that's also the reason why I was cast a little bit, because they were like, oh, she doesn't have to act that much, maybe, like just to be safe. That I don't know. Yeah,
no, but you guys are real actors. Like you went to the Strasbourg school, the whole thing. Like there was something there that felt very unrehearsed. It felt very, very natural that I was really, really impressed by.
Yeah, and it's also this kind of to build, like to have, because you need to kind of keep the chemistry, but it shouldn't be like they're falling in love or it's like very sexual, or so it's like how to keep a chemistry but still keep it kind of light, and that's also kind of like a balance. But I feel like we have that also a bit naturally. A good like friend chemistry, I would say. And also my dad is an architect.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No.
My dad too.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I worked in his office for my whole childhood.
Yeah. So my dad is like, he was a bit of a workaholic, and I'm always like, Dad, you gotta live. You know, you gotta live. So yeah.
And I
feel bad my dad was an
work in
architect
architecture as well now. So
Common theme.
The film kind of wrote itself for you. Yeah. Okay, we got time for a couple questions. If anyone has Loretta, hand shoots up.
Hi. So I think that's the scene that I will never forget from this film, because I think it's beautifully acted and beautifully shot, is the one when the architect is calling Lena and asks her to be a good listener for him. So I have a question for the two actors. I know that you said that you will do that and so on, but I'm speaking to you as professionals, and as such, I love to know how you have managed to sound like a love letter, what instead is a desperate moment in your life. And in your case, you are there, hesitant and yet happy to embrace this unknown request. And the question to the filmmaker is, I really liked how you have filmed. You have filmed them in two very distinct way. The architect, we have this shot of his head as he's looking around, as he's trying to convey his wish. And then we have these side shots of the details of the cheeks, of the hair, the hand, and it's all very poetic and beautiful and convincing, despite how improbable all of that is. So I think that I have a question that starts maybe with the architect, with Lena, and then with the filmmaker.
Okay. Well, for me, the scenes, that particular scene came right because we had sat the night before in my apartment, and we had rehearsed it, and right there and then I just felt the script. I felt myself. I felt really the emotions, and I could get that out. So that for me was not planned. It came perfectly natural, and also that day was. It was quite windy. We were in a little bit of a rush also, but Michael and the team, they were really supporting me, you know, and took the time and so I could have my time and really go into to that scene. So, well, the answer is that it came naturally for me.
You have so much to kind of draw from your life. From your father to your own health. You have so much to draw from. It feels like it's just ready to go.
Yeah, I think from the point of view of my character, I mean, she's a woman and this is a strange man, so it's always a bit risky just to go and meet them. But I think in that moment is kind of like you're outweighing the risk with or that he's kind of, it seems like it's a person, someone in need. Like you get that feeling from his voice that he's a bit desperate and he's in need, and it's just that, like the risk part of it kind of, or the helping someone in need kind of outweighs the risk of it all. So I think that's like the moment that the character feels kind of, yeah, it's like just the connecting to the empathy, kind of the, you know, shared humanity and empathy, I guess. Yeah.
The most human thing you can do, really.
Yeah.
My fear was that it would feel very improbable or almost comical, you know, like this guy in desperation. So I think I told Max we gotta make this work. Otherwise, the whole film kind of feels like, how did this guy just call this person and then she wants to show? Why would she want to do that? You know. But it's not improbable. Those things have happened in my life, actually. So that's why I was like, okay, we can do this. But we have to do it toned down, and we have to show something. We have to show your fear. So we did that flashback before, and I thought, okay, we got to show his fears, and that's why we did flashback. So he's like, okay, he's very scared inside, and he's trying to calm down in the sauna, but it's not working. He's gonna give this last resort kind of call, and I think he did it really well. And I don't know if you drew from your personal experience. I think you put a lot of practice into that scene, because we put some pressure on you, and we spent actually most of the day just doing that scene, and then we did yours another day. Yeah.
Great question. Thanks, Loretta. Anyone else have a question? Oh. Reliable mess.
Yeah, it's a bit of a technical question. I'm just curious about the dialogue scenes. I really enjoyed the long dialogues. Did you shoot that with 2 cameras or only one? Because the flow was great. Just one. One camera, yeah. Wow. Very nicely done, because that worked so well.
In 12 days is
yes,
remarkable.
also that.
Very fast, yeah.
Impressive.
You know, I've been filming a lot of short films since I was younger, unplanned, and just on the running gun, you know, guerrilla filmmaking, and that's always been my first principle. It's just like, I'm not going to wait for this film to get off the ground or get funding or anything. So out of my pocket, and you know, I saved for it. I spent all my money on it, and then I got free locations. Every location was loaned to us, so that was really good. And then, you know, when you're in that situation, you have to find the best location that you can, but for free. So, and it's hard to do that. But I just went door to door knocking to the coffee shop, Cafe Sempre. That's a real coffee shop called Cafe Sempre. I used to go there all the time, so I just said, "Hey, can I film here?" Like, and we filmed during lunch hour. It was really busy. Everyone was in there. No one even cared. It was crazy. They weren't even looking at us filming. So
Swedish, isn't it?
Yeah, it was really nice. So those kind of things were helpful, I think, to make it look a little bit more professional, to increase the budget value, or at least the feeling. And but yeah, I'm ready to make another film. So
Yeah, it was really impressive. Like that you managed to pull it all through. Like, because it was basically like you and one producer, and the camera guy and sound. But that was like the main. Yeah. So it was. Yeah, very tight crew. Like it's kind of But you kept it kind of.
no contracts, nothing.
No.
Just a handshake and some text messages.
Just a handshake.
Did you watch the Black Sea we showed here last night? Oh, you weren't here. Did you watch the Black Sea last night?
No, I missed it. Yeah.
There was a very similar kind of vibe where it was a very small crew, and they shot it in 17 days as opposed to 12. And it was kind of that film and this film meet the philosophy I'm trying to bring into this curatorial line, so to speak, of like, just get up and do it and make it for whatever you can. Get it out and make it happen and learn and break things and move fast and do it. Yeah. But 12 days is remarkable. That's with one camera is very impressive. It shows a lot of dedication and real talent, I think.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I expect the check in the mail at some point next week. Other questions from the audience? Anybody in the balcony? No? Anybody else? Okay. We should probably wrap it up. The next film starts reasonably soon. Thank our guests for their generosity and for their time and for making this great film. And thank you all for your questions and conversation. It's always inspiring.